In this video, we'll be taking a deeper look at the nodes and how they work, what we can do with them, as well as looking at the nodes that we haven't covered yet. And hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have covered all of the different nodes. To demonstrate the nodes in more detail, I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to right-click on Resources, create a new folder. I'm just going to call it School. I'm going to go over to Ren'Py Maker here, click on that, and enter School here. Inside, we'll create a Ren'Py Maker object. Call this one Global. Create another one. I call this Question. I create 3 more. One for music, as well as one for Michael. And one more for Lucy. I'm going to head to the global. I'm going to create all 3 of these characters. And a faster way of adding an image to any of these nodes is to click on images, and we can visually scroll through them. And we want side cine. Now we can right click on that, we can copy it, paste, and paste. We'll change this one to Michael, and one for Lucy. We'll go back to the images folder. We'll find the side images for Michael and the side image for Lucy. Now we have 3 characters to find. And that's in the global graph. We'll now open up the question graph. And this is where our novel is going to start. And we want to set up the scene. So we'll need a scene node. And we'll do the bedroom scene. And then we want to have a show. And Cindy is going to wake us up, so let's have something like that. And Cindy's going to say, something like, "Good morning." And the next line, she will say something like, "It's time for school." Shall I ask, which class would you like to attend? Now we can add a menu. Before I do, I'm going to put a label in here. And this is so that after the question, we can jump straight back into picking another class. So I'm just going to, let me just get rid of that. And we'll call it question. I'm going to continue on with the menu now. And we want to create 3 buttons for this. First one will be, we'll put economics. And I'll create that button. Let's move all this up a bit. Then we want, let's put in biology. Create that button. And one last one, we'll put music. Minimize those. And rather than have a line going to, or a pathway to the dialogues for economics, biology, and music, I'm going to jump to one of the graphs. So in the last video, we looked at menus, we looked at calling another graph. So we're going to put in 3 calls. Followed by a return, followed by a jump. So we're going to call, which will call the next page. So let's do economics first. Call it economics. Join those together. And we wanted to jump back to question, sorry. We can now copy those. We can also duplicate them. So if we just do that and go duplicate, we'll make a copy of them. So this would be biology, this would be music. Technically we don't need those, so I'm going to remove those and just have one jump. We can join all 3 of those. So we have Cindy waking us up in the bedroom and saying good morning, time for school. Then we get to choose a class. Depending on which option we choose, we'll call that page, and then we'll jump back to question, which should show us the menu again. So now we're going to head over and we'll do Michael first. So we'll start with a label. Followed by a scene node. And this allows us to change the scene to the scorer. I'm just going to drag a picture of the skull. Sorry, wrong one. There we go. We also need a show. show Michael in the center. The position is either to the left, right, center, or true center. True center is vertically and horizontally centered. Now, we're not going to do much in the dialogue for Michael. We're going to click on the character drop down and choose Michael. Notice how it's changed the color and the side image. So we can now say hi, my name is Michael. And that's pretty much all he's going to say. So I'm just going to return right there. We could, of course, have a whole dialogue before returning. Okay, so now we want to do the same for Lucy, but I'm going to copy that and come over to the other. So it looks like I added the characters to Lucy, so I'm just going to copy those over to the global graph. Come back over to Michael, copy that again, and back over to Lucy, and remove the other nodes. Lucy's also in the schoolroom. We want to show Lucy. We can change to Lucy here. She'll say, hello, I'm Lucy, before returning. In the music graph, so to music, we'll set the scene to the living room. So basically we're not going to go to class, we're just going to hang around the house. This is some music. So we're going to put a music node in here. And we'll put a dialogue in. If we don't put a dialogue in, it will go from the music and it'll return immediately. We do want to put in a dialogue here. We'll put Cindy in. We'll show Cindy as well. Bring that one up to there, bring that one down, and we can move the show node in. So it doesn't matter that Cindy's the one saying just listen to music, but it'll jump into the label, play through, and then return back to the question. So I'll open up the question, and we can now give this a test. It'll jump back. Okay. I did miss an audio source, as it's telling me here. So if we go back to music, we can click on audio, bring that across to here. It's got fade in and fade out. Just right click, check for errors, seems to be in order. And we'll give it a play. Click through. It says please choose a class. If we click on economics, let me just check. Looks like I misnamed my other graph. That was supposed to be economics. And if we go to music, it's got music, and Lucy was biology. Give that one more run. It's time for school. Which class would you like to attend? Please choose a class. I'm going to choose economics. And here we have Michael in the economics room. And if we hit continue to click through, we come back to please choose a class. Ideally, we probably should have Cindy asking this question, but we'll leave it for now. But we can now choose biology. Here we have Lucy, and we can choose music. Also, after the music, we could have added another node here. So we'll put in stop music. To find out which of these pathways is going here, we need to click here. And if we come through, we can click on them multiple times to see which one's flashing and work out which path we can take from the exit. We'll then continue onto the exit. So this time when we clear, when we come back from music, sorry, what that's done there is it's continued on from this node here. This is a feature of the program that if you want to debug further on into the story, you can actually highlight a dialogue and hit play, and it'll try to play from that selected node. In this case, we want to have them all unselected before we hit play. Here we go. Choose music. And when we click, it'll come back, stop the music before jumping back to the question. It all seems to be working. What we can do now is create our script for Ren'Py. Overwrite the existing file. Come to the folder for the Ren'Py scripts. Now open in Explorer and View with Notepad. Here we have our characters being defined, as well as our images and the start of the labels. And we have our biology, economics and music labels, as well as the start label. Our menu is here, and the calls to these labels are here. And I think you'll agree that using Ren'Py Maker is a lot faster and easier to manage than scripting by hand. So that all looks good. We can close that. We'll copy that and head over to Ren'Py. I'm going to create a new project. We'll call it School. And leave it in that resolution. It'll go ahead and create a default project for us that we can override. Go to the game folder, paste the script in there, and replace it. Now we need to grab the images and the audio. There was the bedroom, living room, schoolroom, Cindy happy. We want Michael, Lucy, as well as their side images. Side Cindy. I believe that was it. We can paste those directly into the images folder for Ren'Py. Also head back. Go to the audio. We want to copy the MP3. We'll paste that into the audio folder in Ren'Py. Now we can give the project a run. And it seems to be working. Which class would you like to attend? We'll do economics. Goes to Michael. Now we're back to choosing a class. Do Lucy and music. We did miss an image, which is by. But apart from that, it worked well. And to continue on, looking at the nodes, some of the other nodes that we have are a comment node. This allows you to add a note, which will then be added in line to the Ren'Py script. It's just a feature for allowing you to document your script. The other nodes we have are hide. What this does is we can actually use this. Let me just remove that. But hide is the opposite of show. So we can show Cindy, and then we would hide Cindy. We would also have to use the same name, so it'd be Cindy happy. So you can show different characters by first hiding one character and then showing another character. There's a narrate node, which is the same as a dialogue node, except that it won't show the character's name. So it's like an internal monologue for the character. There's a pause node, which allows you to pause the execution of the program for a certain number of seconds. If you put 0 in there, it'll pause indefinitely until you click anywhere within the window. You can cue the music, which means you can set up multiple songs, and You can also play a sound, which is similar to this, except it won't repeat. Sorry, the sound will repeat. And lastly, there's a transition node here, and the transition node is for transitions between the scenes, so you can switch from the bedroom to the schoolroom with a dissolve or a fade type transition. So that covers it for all the nodes for the free version of the Ren'Py Maker. And in the next tutorial, we'll be looking at some of the features that are currently working in the Pro version, as well as what we plan to add in the future, as well as how you can support the program as it's developing by joining the Patreon page. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.